Sean, how do you assess that performance and that results?
Well, pleasing for the performance. Result got away from us didn't get away from a point away here. They've got a good home record, we knew that. But very pleased with it, a lot of the performance. Mistake for the second goal when we stripped the midfield. We don't need to at that stage of the game, but that's a continued learning kind of curve of managing the game and working from your shape even when attacking. But a lot of good things today. We wanted to come down there and take the game on. That was clear from the first half, which we did do. Created chances, got a penalty. Amazed we didn't get a second one, but I don't know what gets a penalty anymore. You touch someone on their shoulder, they go down, it's a penalty. Seamus clearly gets their lad, puts his foot in front of him, kicks the back of his foot, and apparently that's not. I don't know where that lives. But other than that, an overall very strong performance from us, I think, on the back of a big shift at Arsenal. Forget the scoreline, it's a big physical shift down there. You've got to work hard. So to respond from that and take the game on today as we did was very pleasing also.
Did you see that as a point gained or 2 point loss?
I just see it as growth, because we've got to keep getting points on the board, that's for sure. But you've got to have a method to what you're doing, and there's very pleasing signs about what the players are delivering and how they're taking these games on. And I think that's the pleasing thing. I'm never naive enough to know that we need points, of course. But there's got to be a plan, there's got to be a reason, there's got to be a method of how you're getting them. And today, as I said, without that second mistake, I didn't remember having golden chances particularly. Dimi had a very good chance. In the first half, I don't remember them having too many. Good finish from there, by the way. But at the end of the day, we've kind of given them an opportunity rather than them creating one. So that's pleasing in the sense that we're taking games on with the right mentality, defending still very resolutely. I know we concede two, but a lot of the defensive work was very good. And scoring 2 goals. At the end of the day, there's a lot made of the goal scoring here. And I've said it's down to the whole team to score goals. And we showed that today with different threats for different reasons in different situations as well.
Have you saw or got an explanation for why Coleman didn't get the penalty?
No, I asked the referee, he said he didn't think it was a penalty, and I said, well, I don't know what is then, because at the end of the day, the reason, my way of looking at it is, I was a defender, and when someone goes and they've broken in front of you, if you touch or you're around them, even when I was playing, which was donkeys years ago, by the way, but even then it's a penalty, but apparently he said, no, he felt he kicked the back of his foot, and I said, yeah, he kicked the back of his foot. Do you know why? Because he put his foot in front of his foot, so it prevents him. So imagine now he's on goal, and that happens, do you think it's a penalty? I think it's a penalty. It gets given, you know what I mean? If he's on goal and he's going to shoot and the defender puts their foot in front of yours and you kick the back of that, I'm telling you, that gets given as a penalty. So, anyways.
Sure, was that one of the first times in your managerial career you've actually not failed to recognise striker?
I honestly can't remember. I've had a few games, but I wasn't really bothered whether he was recognised or not. It was just someone who I thought could affect the game, and I thought he showed, a strong workload, which is good for Dimi, working hard for the team, and some moments which tried to affect the game. So I was pleased.
I thought he actually, there's different ways to do it, but he held the ball above and he made it stick.
Well, he can. He's technically very good, and he's stronger than you think. He's not a big figure, but he is strong. So I know that I was pleased for him. I was pleased for Duke. I thought he was pleased for Ben coming in, getting thrown in last minute. He has played left back. Close decision, Ruben or Ben, and Miko had gone down Neil. So I was pleased for him as well. A lot of pleasing things. Look, we don't get the result, but if I'm sitting here now and we saw the game through and we won 2-1, I think you'd all agree it's a very, very strong away performance.
From an attacking point of view, you did create a lot of good chances.
Yeah. The challenge is that the ones that fans don't always say, but we got in some amazing moments today where just the final pass, final slide, particularly in transition second half, players making great runs and just finding even on the counter that led to a goal. It's just a soft pass. It's not a clinical moment, because if he does get the pass away, we're 3-on-2, I think, or 4-on-3 or whatever it was. But then moments, they cost you. So it's that eradicating them. There's been a few mistakes since I've been here. We've got to eradicate them. But a lot of the work they're doing, I'm very pleased with a lot of what they're doing and a lot of the way the team's working. And the fans were brilliant today. I think they respect that. They see a team that are giving a lot, and they are giving a lot.
Sean, how do you view overall the relegation battle? If you look at the league table, and there could be like up to 9-10 teams in that battle still, which is quite rare. It's usually 5 or 6.
The challenge of the division is there for all to see, and at the top, we always make this noise about how it's looking different. Well, if you notice, it's beginning to get back towards the top 6 being the top 6. But outside of that, there's a chunk of clubs that are all in there. which we've got ourselves back into a better position, and that would have been even better today. Obviously, we would have took all 3, but it's a work in progress. It's got to be quick work, I know that, but I'm seeing it with myself, I'm seeing it with my staff, I'm seeing it every day on the training pitch. It doesn't guarantee your results. I've told the lads that, but if we keep doing the right things, it increases your potential to get results, and I think that's a pleasing thing for me today. Come down and try and change the away story, try and change the feel, the rhetoric about the away performances of Everton Football Club, and I think that was on show today.
How much can grounds like this and Goodison affect or play a part for clubs like you and Forest? Old school atmosphere.
Well, I've been here for a few games, and there's try and stand by the team. There's a bit of nervousness today in the crowd. Of course, that happens. We've had a little bit of that at Goodison, but it's important, and the fans of Goodison have been brilliant, and they travelled in numbers to Arsenal the other night. It didn't go our way, of course, but they're still seeing a team that are trying. They're still seeing a team that are working. But fans are important, in all grounds. I think the bit of freedom comes in your first season back up. Forest are back up. Everyone wanted that. It come out of not nowhere, but they had a great season last season. I think the fans have gone, we maybe didn't think we were going to be here, so I think they're going with it, and that's probably helping them.
Sean, in terms of possession, it was sort of a game of 2 halves. It was clear that Everton had far better first half. How important do you think, despite your first half and scoring 2 goals away from home, how important do you think that getting a point away from home is for your survival chances?
Well, you can never tell that, but the performance is the thing I'm looking at. And the game of 2 halves, it was interesting that we could deal and play in both ways. We played with the ball first half, and then second half we looked counter. It's good if you see your team being able to do both, because second half we got in some brilliant positions. Like I said, the final moment was lacking today, but getting in them positions, the energy, the desire to get in them positions was very, very pleasing. So you want your team, I've always tried to get a team that could play in many ways and affect the opposition in many ways, and I can see signs of it. We're not there yet, but I can see signs of it. It's something that we want to do. It's something that we want the team to achieve, and different ways of scoring. You saw that today. Different ways of opening the opposition. There was good moments of that today, with good play, clever play into the box first half, couple second half, and second half countering, defending properly and countering. These are all things that make up a season's work, and that's what we've got to continue to mould the team into.
Forest are unbeaten at home since October. Obviously, that's a really important part of Forest's season. Ultimately, I think they've picked up points 3 games away from home, or scored 3 goals away from home. Do you consider it a good point because Forest is so strong? Well,
they've got a good record. I think that has it only lost 3, is it? I think. Yeah, which for a side that's just come up is a good record, without a shadow. It's a good record for most teams, by the way, but certainly for a side that's just come up. They've had their challenges away from home. I'm speaking on behalf of a club that have had that as well, so correcting that. Look, at the end of the day, they've got their work to do. I've got mine to do. I can assure I'm not overthinking theirs. They'll have to look after themselves. I'll be looking after Everton.
And just finally, how does it feel to being a player that worked under Clough, grew up in Nottingham, or spent a lot of time in Nottingham as a young player? How does it feel to come back to Nottingham as a manager against Forest in the Premier League? The Premier League's the key. I've been back here with Newman as a player and a coach and a manager. But the Premier League, look, it's a great club. It's one that I've always had a soft spot. I didn't play here, but I was a young pro here and stuff like that. So, but at the end of the day, that gets parked very quickly. Trust me, when the whistle blows, I've got no other interest than Everton. That's it.
I think you had 5 players booked. Is that the sort of competitiveness you need to stay up in the Premier League?
I never really thought about how many bookings. I just want players to compete. I didn't think there was that many booking style moments in the game, but the way the game is now, it doesn't need a lot to get a booking. I'm not really interested in that. I'm more interested in what I see from my players now, how they're working to break the game up when we haven't got the ball, and how we're playing when we have got the ball. Bookings and all that, I'm not really too worried about.
You mentioned you've been to a few games earlier in the season. I don't know how comfortable you are talking about opposition players, but I wonder what you've made of Brennan Johnson this season and how he's...
Yeah, I don't really worry about other people's players, not in a disrespectful way, but I've got my own challenges, you know what I mean? People have their views of each side, home fans and home reporters like yourselves. For me, it's just about us concentrating on Everton.
Okay, guys.
Thanks, everyone. Cheers.
Cheers.